Hey guys, Chloe here, and last you would have seen our home tour of the inside of our house, and now here is the exterior. We live on a half-acre property in the San Diego area. Here is the front entrance to our property, and currently we've got a lot of plants going on and a lot of 70s. Not necessarily our style, but it is what it is, and this is what we've got to work with. So let the renovations commence.
It's gonna be fun fixing it up, you'll see.
With our property, we have this retaining wall because we live on a hillside, which allows us our amazing view. But we do have a neighbor up above, and so we have this massive retaining wall and the one above it. But we do have some plants, and I'll show you kind of the ideas of what we're going for when we get around the corner here. But yeah, so this is our driveway. Thoughts are to condense our driveway down some because we don't have 10 to 15 cars, and who needs all this pavement? So anyways, this is our home. It's kind of like it's a split level ranch style is what I'm going to be calling it. But definitely built 1971. So we're going to definitely change up a few things. What we're kind of envisioning is to definitely change up the roof, and then also bring it out with an awning so you're kind of drawn towards the front door. You actually know where it is instead of the ranch style version that's just straight across. We also want to get rid of the siding and do all stucco, and then definitely clear out a lot of this vegetation because it's very overgrown and barely can see the house, especially with the slope that we have in this driveway. It'll make it look a lot better. So yeah, so let's travel down here. Again, more brown siding, and even better, we have the glorious 70s rock. I mean, it's yeah, that's gonna go. Again, stucco, do change up. We'll have to replace and do a new garage door, new gutters, things like that. There's a lot that needs to be done to the exterior of the home. And also with the driveway. It's very cracked, very old. It's been here for a long time, as well as two-toned. I don't know exactly what they were going for here, but we've got asphalt here, and then we've got concrete over there. We're gonna go ahead and remove all that concrete so I can have a garden all in this space over here. But yeah, definitely resurfacing the driveway is the plan. Over the past 3 years that we've been here, we have been slowly working to clear the land. Pretty much the majority of the land has been very overgrown, and so we've slowly been clearing out that. But beyond that, we have been actually clearing out a lot of stone and concrete and what are these called?
Cinder blocks.
Cinder blocks from the yard everywhere. Majority down below, which I'll show you. It's not fun. So Michael and I have been taking weekends, taking days and days and days to bring this up from down below. It is not an easy feat whatsoever. These in particular are 67 pounds each. I can barely lift one. So I was the wheelbarrow lady, and I was able to make it up the hill. We have video. I will be showing you that later and how we got to at least this point. But Michael had to carry every one of these up these stairs. So thanks, honey. Love you. But yeah, so we have a lot of stuff that's come through and up from the yard. We had old gates and just a lot of debris. Also including this old wheelbarrow and this wire
Spool.
Wire spool. Like, just inappropriate. But anyways, so we've been working on that to clear the yard because we are getting ready to really start doing some big renovations with moving the dirt and stuff like that, which is so exciting. More on all that to come. But anyways, this is the current state that it's in. Also, you may notice a burn pit. So yes, we do live in Southern California, and yes, it is very dry here. However, you are allowed to have burns of your vegetation on your property when you're in the county. We are actually in the county and not actually in a city or a municipality. So we're able to do a burn. It definitely has scared a lot of our neighbors, and we've gotten the fire department called on this a couple of times, but they've been well aware of our situation because they come out and check everything. You'll see videos on that as well coming up. But yes, that has been our burn area because we have cleared a lot of vegetation. So much we are unable to take all of it to the dump. It's really hard to break down for the weekly pickup that we have, and it's the only way we've been able to get rid of it. So that's the burn permit. We have this fairly sloped area of our front yard that we want to utilize. So we are actually up to, this is where our property line is. Since we have all of this space and it's on a huge slope, we needed to figure out something to do with it. And again, we live in San Diego. There's a lot of military helicopters that fly around all the time. Okay, since this is a pretty steep slope, we still want to utilize it, and we like wine, we decided we're going to put a vineyard up here. Fingers crossed we can figure out how to make wine. We are very curious, and so we will attempt in some way, shape, or form, but that is the general idea for that space. Vineyard galore. Let's go down this way to the backyard. Oh, quick pause. This massive tree is a loquat tree. Produces hundreds, if not thousands, of fruit every year. It's insane how much there is off of this tree. And this is a plumeria tree. The pretty little white and yellow flowers that you see in Hawaii all the time. Another super old tree. This is at least 30 years old. This is our entrance to our backyard, and kind of what starts to showcase our beautiful view and why we bought this property to begin with. Let's travel on down our ramp of a walkway. Not quite sure why they built this way, but this is a sapote tree, and here it is. They have these little, I don't know. This is a sapote tree. I don't even know how to eat this fruit. It's not my favorite, but it is here, and it loves its little spot. We don't do anything to it. All of the vegetation, everything that we have on this property, we have not watered or touched in any way, shape, or form except for trimming it up or removing it. So how it's been thriving is all on its own. So, which is pretty interesting to see all these trees thriving. So, yeah. Here. So this is what we call level 1. We have 4 levels to this backyard that don't include the upper portion that's actually with the house. But so here we have a mess. We have a muddy mess because we had to dig up the septic system, and kind of there's a whole thing on that. So I'll be showing that as well, but that was needed to be found, exactly the details of that. Crows, sorry. The exact details of our septic system so that our landscape designer could get to designing, as well as, you know, we needed to know exactly where that's at for permits and things like that. So this is why this is a bit of a mess, but so is the rest of the yard. So then this tree, this is our orange tree, and this is the tree that I actually picked all of the oranges that I dried for Christmas time. I picked them off of this tree. There's still a couple left. Obviously, I can't reach them. Here is our second level. We're kind of thinking some fun things. You'll have to stay tuned on what our landscaping design plans are, but this is our second level. And then last March we had quite a bit of rain come through, and unfortunately we had one of these walls just fall right over. It was not one of these stacked stones that you see here that kind of interlock. It was actually just cinder blocks stacked on top of each other to act as a wall. There was no rebar or reinforcement into those whatsoever, which will be a theme around our property, unfortunately. And so that's why we have a lot of cinder blocks up there from that, as well as other areas around here. But this one will probably be going probably sometime soon if we don't get after it, but we'll be removing them anyways. So this is our third level, and in particular, these are our macadamia nut trees. So we have 3 of these. This tall bad boy, we've got this one right here, and then we have a smaller one right down below. And they're interesting. I've collected a lot of the nuts, not as many as I should have, because a lot of the rodents get to it before I do, and yeah, but I'm learning. I'm trying to figure it out so we can harvest some more macadamia nuts come the end of next summer, early fall. Beyond the macadamia nut tree, we have back here another sapote. This is a massive sapote, and it actually, unfortunately, and we need to cut this out, which we're going to this year, but it has tire rings around it, unfortunately, and it kind of kept with the theme of having a lot of items to clean up around the yard, but we haven't been able to move it because there was actually a bee colony living inside those tires. But now it looks like the colony is either died or moved on, and so now we're gonna go ahead and pull those off. But right beyond that, we actually have a huge ravine, which is we have an easement on a part of our property that is a storm drain easement for all of the 9 inches of rain per year that we get.
California is like the guy at a party that has 1 beer and then trashes the place. Look at what we're dealing with.
What a terrible morning to be on the roads. We lived through much of it with all that rain coming down.
That all runs down that storm drain easement from the neighborhood right up above us. But yeah. So now we also have 2 more orange trees. This guy, and then this one right behind him. This is actually the lemonade berry bush that I talked about in my master bedroom makeover reveal video. This is the plant that I use the clippings to put in the vases side by side on our nightstands. Really works well in the house, and it lasts for like a month, just like a quick clipping. So really like this plant. We have a ton of it. It's native, and we have a whole area back in here. It's a little difficult to get back there right now. That is also still on our plan to actually clear a lot of this. There's a lot of dead vegetation and whatnot back through there. not necessarily fire safe. So we're gonna clear that out soon. But yeah, these guys, foxtail agave. Love the look of these agave, not necessarily when they bloom. I'm not a huge fan of these. They just become so massive. This actually ends up dying, and then they just become really woody and very difficult to kind of like clear out and get rid of. Not a huge fan, but the agave that we have on the rest of the property actually has never done this in the 3 years that we've been here. It's just this particular plant that continues to reproduce. So anyways, but it's great for the bees. The bees are loving it. But this is actually our 4th level. And then we end our property right before this tall palm tree here. We have a lot to work with. So now I'll bring you up to the top, to the patio that is outside of our master bedroom and to the side of our yard, way up there. So let's go head up there. Now that I'm out of breath. This is just a quick little storage nook area that we have on our property. Water heater, stuff like that. These guys, I forget their name, but these guys I've used all the time in the house. I cut quick clippings off of these. I cut like 2-3 of them, put them in a vase. Another month, 2 months, just in a vase with some water. It's insane how long these last. But really, really pretty greenery inside the house. So here is our back patio. This is right off of our master bathroom, which is right here. And then we also have our master bedroom sliding doors right behind me. This, as well as upstairs, and we'll take you onto the deck in a minute, but is one of the best views that we have on our property. We can see downtown San Diego. We can see Coronado Bridge, the bay, and all of San Diego suburb. We see a lot of wildlife out here too. We've had coyotes and unfortunately rattlesnakes and other big snakes. And then bobcat. We've had bobcat a couple times. We've had turkey vulture and many different types of hawks and falcons, and we actually have 2 hawks right now that have built a nest up in the tree behind this one, and so they're roosting up there right now. And tons and tons of bunnies, the cutest little bunnies on there. So this is right off of our master bedroom, and this is where I wanted the bed positioned straight out of these sliding glass doors, so we could literally look at this every morning when we wake up. And then over here, we have a side, like a small side yard. Pretty secret, pretty quaint. It's kind of fun. Also, another thing about this side of our property, which we really love, is this super tall honeysuckle and bougainvillea, honeysuckle, bougainvillea, and wisteria kind of hedge or wall that separates us from our neighbors. So we really, really enjoyed this. However, it's definitely been growing quite a bit, so we'll be cutting and trimming this back, but loving, loving, loving this space. And last but not certainly least is our deck space. So this is off of the living room and the kitchen and the dining room, because it's all one big great room. But it is off the corner of our back area and right above the master bedroom. And it gives us the perfect view of, again, San Diego and all of the area. And it's just so nice to sit out here almost all day, every day. So yeah, come take a look. Definitely needs to have an update with the wood. It is old, but it's working for now. We totally love this deck and the fact that it's right off of the kitchen area and the dining room and our main living space. But this is actually missing one thing. We don't have stairs to the backyard. So we're definitely going to be putting some stairs in, as well as, you know, redoing this deck. But absolutely love this space and love to entertain out here all the time. So that concludes our outside tour. Stay tuned for the next couple of videos. I'll be going over where we started with the space and all that it took to get to just where we are now, and then kind of what the plans are going to be going forward. So I hope you enjoyed this tour and video, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.